It's General Brown, that's right, from the Operation Monster Force action figure line, the General Brown action figure. Check him out. He's got his military uniform on and his hat. It looks pretty good. Let's check him out next to the Donner Party. I would have expected the Donner Party figure to be much, much bigger, but I talked about that in my previous review, and you could see that they size up pretty comparably next to each other. So, for a monster, he should have been a little bit bigger, but they're about the same size. But anyway, standing next to each other, they do look fantastic. So here is General Brown. You can see him in his uniform there. It looks really, really sharp. He actually looks really pressed. I am pretty impressed with the way this thing looks. Anyways, let's just take a closer look at some of the details. He's got regular ball joint on the arm. He's got the double jointed elbow, double jointed knee. The jacket is nice plastic, which allows for some flexibility in the leg, which is really, really nice. And I do like the fact that he's got those glasses and hats. Now, it came with 3 pairs of glasses with different gold frame, silver frame, and then the lens might be a little bit different color. But anyways, it's got good emotion in the neck joint there. Let's take a look at the hat. Look at the emblem on the hat. Looks fantastic, man. The gold and the green really, really do look good together. Look at those 4-star general. They're silver. He's got that gold like little button holding down the epaulette tab. That is pretty cool. The jacket is separate from the shirt, which is really nice. But check out the name tag. Now, it's General Brown, but there's no name on that name tag, which is kind of cool. I don't think I could write that small if I wanted to write a different name in there. But I guess it's blank, so if you wanted to, you could do that. Now, right up here on the chest are all his ribbons. Somebody else will have to go through and tell me if those ribbons are really how they're supposed to be. But this is the face sculpt on General Brown, the one that comes in the package. It comes with 3 extra head sculpts. You just pop off the head and neck, and you can swap it out. And I got, check this out, a little bit of paint rub on that neck when I was pulling it out. It's a little bit disappointing, but you know what? I didn't heat it up or anything like that. I was able to get the neck out fairly easily with a little bit of pulling. Anyways, I like this head sculpt because it really makes me feel like I can get a Thaddeus Ross in my collection, which is my Marvel Legends collection. So not only necessarily for the Monster Force, but I think he can totally fit in for basically Thaddeus Ross, and that's why I like this figure when I saw the extra head sculpts. There's one more head sculpt that I'm super excited about, so I'm going to show you that in a minute. But anyways, Thaddeus Ross, and you can put him next to your Red Hulk. Isn't that freaking cool? Because then you can have your Ross and the Red Hulk on your shelf in your Marvel Legends collection. That is pretty cool. And I think this is kind of like the Monster Force head or whatever. So that looks pretty cool too. I don't know if I'm ever going to really use this on a Monster Force unless it comes with the character. But he does look pretty cool and he looks pretty ominous. So there's no complaining about this head sculpt either. Now, this is the other head sculpt that I was super excited about. And if you know anything about me on my channel, you know that I collected those 12-inch G.I. Joes. And that's what this reminds me of. It's got the brown hair, the full beard. Look at that hairline. That is fantastic. And even has that scar on the face. That is really cool, and I think if you look at it next to my custom 6-inch G.I. Joe, you can see the scar goes in the same direction. Now, this one has blonde hair and no beard, so what I thought I'd do is pull out one of my 12-inch G.I. Joes and just show you the comparison of the 2 figures kind of side by side. That is the full beard with the scar, and check it out, the hairline is a perfect match. So in a way, this is like a bonus head because then it's a total throwback to your G.I. Joe 12-inch line. I think that looks fantastic, and I'm probably not going to use it on this general figure because, like I said, I want to have my Thaddeus Ross, so I'll probably swap this over to a G.I. Joe Classified series body. But anyways, here's the box for General Brown, and it's just like the Donner Party one. It's a closed box with a gatefold, and once we flip this around, we're going to open it up. And you're going to be able to have a full view of the head sculpts, the figure, and that little comic book page. That looks really cool. So anyways, here you go. I got my Thaddeus Ross. I'm going to put my Red Hulk in there. And then I got my G.I. Joe head on a G.I. Joe Classified Series figure. You will need to make some modifications, but I think it looks really good. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And as always, have a fantastic day.